Hi everyone, my name is Brandon Luttrell, and I'm currently pursuing my BS in computer science. For the last 5 years, I've worked for AT&T in a variety of different roles. First, starting as a wireline technician, installing cable, internet, and home phone for customers all throughout California. Then, I spent about 3 years as an instructor, teaching new and current employees in the wireline technician role how to do their jobs. And then finally, the last year or so, I've spent as a wireless technology engineer, helping to design and implement cell tower networks all across the country, but mostly in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Out of those 5 years I've spent working for AT&T, I've learned a lot about connectivity mediums, from your cell phone to Wi-Fi to fiber optics to Ethernet. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk to you about today, is I'm going to show you how to make your very own Ethernet cable. Now, you might recognize an Ethernet cable as what you use to connect your gaming device, your desktop, or your printer, for example, into your internet modem or router. Now, these cables are relatively common. You can buy them at almost any electronics store, but making your own comes in handy, especially when you're talking about buying a cable that isn't quite a standard length. Sometimes you'll need a longer cable to connect your router to your computer that's in an entirely different room. Some people go the extra step and run wires through the attic or underneath their home. So what I'm going to show you today will help you with doing that. So if you first look at this diagram, you'll see that there are two different wiring standards for Cat5e Ethernet. Cat5e is the most common standard for Ethernet wiring. It consists of 4 cable pairs of different colors, and between the two standards there is no performance difference, just a difference in how we connect the cable. The T568A standard is used primarily in a residential setting, where the 568B is used primarily in a business setting. I'm going to show you how to do the A standard today. Okay, so to start off, we need a couple of different things. We need an RJ45 crimping tool, which can be purchased from nearly any electronics store. We need at least 2 RJ45 Ethernet plugs. And then we need some Cat5e cable to work with. There are more tools you can use to make this process easier, but these are the bare minimum 3 you need. So the first thing I have to do is I need to expose the conductors inside the Cat5 wiring. Most RJ45 crimping tools have a slot that you can use to easily strip off the jacket. I need to strip off at least 1 inch, but generally 2 inches is better. So I'm going to slide the wire through the slot, fully compress on the crimper, and twist it around 360 degrees. And the outer jacket should slide off. Now the part that makes this easier, if you happen to have a pair of electrician's scissors handy, there's a pull string in most of these Cat5 wires. It's kind of difficult to see, but it always helps to go ahead and cut that off so we're not having to deal with it. Next, I'm going to separate all 4 wire pairs. There's blue, orange, green, and brown. Then I'm going to untwist each of the 4 wire pairs. Doesn't really matter which order just yet. Now that all 4 wire pairs are untwisted, you'll notice that there are some kinks in them from having been twisted for so long. Usually you just take a flat metal edge, lay your thumb across all 4 pairs, and pull. Put pressure down on the 4 pairs and pull the Cat5 away, and that'll work out most of the kinks. Now I need to lay these in order according to the 568A standard. So I'm going to start off with green, white, and then green, from left to right, from my point of view. So green, white, green, orange, white, blue, blue, white, orange, brown, white, brown. And I need to keep these wires in this order for the rest of this fitting. I'll try to straighten them out some more and make sure they don't cross. You should be left with something kind of like this. I like to keep a thumb on it the whole time just to make sure they don't get out of order. Now, this is actually too long. I'm going to have to shorten it. I usually like to go about a ½ inch from where the outer jacket stops. So I'm going to kind of eyeball it, and then I'm going to cut it with my fancy crimper here. Cut it nice and short. Now, I'm looking at the wires in the correct order, and I'm looking at the fitting, and I'm going to slide all of the wires into the fitting, and it should pop into place. Now, if you notice, there's this thick block at the back of the fitting. This outer jacket needs to go all the way into that block. I'm going to hold it snug. I'm going to pop this fitting into the 8-pin connector on my RG45 crimper, and I like to give it 2 squeezes. Pull it back out, and you've got one perfect RJ45 fitting. All you have to do now is repeat the process on the other side of the cable. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you learned quite a bit out of this, and have a great week.